I was walking back from the woods when I saw her. A small shape, pale, barely moving. Snow covered her hair and shoulders. My chest tightened. "Hey!" I shouted. "Can you hear me?" She stirred weakly. "Please don't leave me," she whispered. I dropped my axe and ran. My boots sank in the snow. I reached her and knelt beside her. "Who did this to you?" I asked, voice shaking. They left me," she said, barely moving. I tried to survive." I felt my anger rise. "Your village? Your family?" I spat words into the cold wind. How could they do this? She coughed, and a small hand reached for mine. I didn't know. I didn't know they would. I gripped her hand. "Hold on. You will not die here. Not today." The snow around us sparkled in the fading light. I could feel the cold seeping into my bones. I dragged her gently toward my sled. "I'll get you warm. You'll eat. You'll survive," I said. Her eyes, wide and scared, met mine. Why are you helping me?" "Because no one deserves this," I said. My voice cracked. "Not you. Not anyone." I wrapped her in my spare blanket. She shivered violently. "It's so cold," she said. I thought it would end." "It's not the end," I said. "You have me now. I won't let you go." I lifted her carefully onto the sled. Her small body trembled. I checked her hands and face. Frostbite had begun, but it wasn't too late. I whispered to myself, "Stay alive. Just stay alive." The ride back to my cabin was slow. My hands ached, my arms burned, but I focused only on her. Every bump made her cry softly. "I'm here," I said each time. "I'm right here. You're safe now." She closed her eyes, trying to sleep. I wanted to let her rest, but fear kept me alert. I scanned the snow around us. Wolves could be near. The wind could bury us in minutes. Survival was harsh. When we reached my cabin, I carried her inside. The fire glowed weakly in the hearth. I put her down gently. "Sit here," I said, guiding her to a chair. "Warm your hands." She tried to smile. "Thank you," she whispered. "You don't have to thank me," I said. "You just need to survive. That's enough." I fetched water and boiled it. Soup would be ready soon. She watched me quietly. I noticed the cuts on her arms. Bruises marked her back. My stomach tightened. How could anyone abandon a child like this? "Do you have a name?" I asked. "Anna," she whispered. "Anna," I said. "I'm Elias. You're safe now, Anna. That's all that matters." Her eyes shone with tears. "I'm so cold," she said again. I put my hand over hers. "I know, but you're alive. You will stay alive. I promise." She leaned slightly against me. I felt the weight of responsibility. My own life had been lonely, quiet, empty. Now someone depended on me. It was terrifying. It was everything I needed. I fed her soup slowly. She took tiny bites, shivering, but steady. I spoke to her softly, telling stories of the forest, of the animals, of the small joys I had found living alone. She listened, fragile but alive. Night fell. Snow pressed against the windows. I watched her sleep, bundled in blankets. The fire's warmth flickered across her face. I realized my loneliness was nothing compared to hers. And yet, in saving her, I found a purpose I had never known. "Hold on, Anna," I whispered. "We will face winter together. You will survive. I will make sure of it." The fire crackled, throwing orange light on the snow outside. I added another log. The wind whistled through the trees. I looked at her sleeping under the thin blanket. She shivered, small and fragile. I could not let her freeze. "You will be safe here," I whispered, more to myself than her. She stirred but did not wake. Her lips were blue. Her hair stuck to her face with frost. I felt a knot on my chest. Who would leave a child to die? I said to the empty forest. Rage hit me first, sharp and hot. Then doubt crept in. Could she survive? Could I keep her alive? My hands were raw from cutting wood. My clothes smelled of smoke and snow. I felt tired, but I could not stop. I poured some water from my flask and melted snow slowly. The fire heated the kettle. Steam rose. "This will warm you," I said quietly, though she could not hear me yet. Hours passed. The storm outside grew louder. Snow drifted past the cabin window. I watched it, thinking of her family. They had abandoned her. I wanted to shout, hit something, or ride to their village. But I stayed. I could not leave her alone. When she finally opened her eyes, she blinked slowly. "Where am I?" she whispered. Her voice was soft, shaking. "You are safe," I said. "Do not be afraid." She looked at me, eyes wide. I held the kettle, offering hot water. She took it with trembling hands. I watched her sip slowly, shivering. I thought no one would come," she said. Her voice broke. "I am here," I said. "I will not leave." She tried to smile but failed. Her eyes held fear, doubt, and something else, curiosity. I did not know what it was yet. I stirred the soup slowly. "Eat this. It will help." I put the bowl near her hands. She touched it lightly, then tasted it. She coughed softly, and I laughed. "Easy," I said. "Slowly. You need strength." "Thank you," she said. Her voice was almost a whisper. "You are welcome," I said. "Do not speak too much. Save your strength." I moved to the fire, letting it warm my hands. I watched her eat, thinking of survival. Food, fire, shelter, simple, but hard in winter. I had learned the hard way. I would teach her. She needed warmth, and I needed to protect her. Why did they leave me?" she asked suddenly, voice small. "They were afraid," I said. "Afraid of winter, of hunger. That is no excuse." My hands tightened around the kettle. "It is cruel. It is wrong. But we will fix it. We will survive." She nodded slowly. I could see tears forming, but she blinked them back. I wanted to hold her, but I did not know if she would let me. I said nothing. I only let the fire crackle between us. I poured more water into the soup and stirred. The smell filled the cabin. She moved closer to the warmth. I watched her, feeling a strange connection. She depended on me, and I could not fail. "You must trust me," I said. "I will not hurt you." She looked at me, hesitated, then nodded. That small nod felt like a promise. I would protect her, no matter the storm, no matter the night. Hours later, she slept again, this time more peacefully. I sat by the fire, keeping watch. My eyes burned, my muscles ached, but I did not move. The forest outside was dark, cold, and unforgiving. But inside, there was warmth. There was hope. I whispered to myself, "I will keep you alive. You will not freeze. You will not starve." The fire flickered, casting shadows on the wall. I stared at them, thinking of the long road ahead. Survival would be hard, but I had her now. I would not let her go. We stopped by a frozen creek. She shivered and wrapped her thin cloak tighter. I looked at her, trying to read her face. "Why did they leave you?" I asked. My voice shook. She looked down. They said I was weak," she whispered. "They were scared of the winter. They thought I would die anyway." I froze. My hands clenched into fists. I wanted to scream at the world. How can they be so cruel? I shouted. The wind carried my words into the empty trees. She flinched. I didn't mean to be weak," she said softly. "I tried to survive. I didn't want to die." I knelt beside her. "I know you didn't," I said. My throat felt tight. Anger boiled inside me. I wanted to yell at her family. I wanted to chase them into the snow. But then I saw her eyes, pale, scared, alive, and I realized the betrayal was not her fault. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I wanted to wipe them away, but I stayed still. "It wasn't your fault," I whispered. "They made the choice. Not you." She shivered harder. "But they were my family," she said. Her voice broke. I thought they would care. I thought they would help me. I felt my heart ache. I knew the pain she carried. I knew loneliness. I had lived in the woods alone for years. I had felt abandoned too. Now I saw her pain, and it mirrored my own. I could feel it in my chest, heavy and sharp. "They didn't care," I said, my voice low. "But I do. I will keep you safe." She looked at me. Fear and hope mixed in her eyes. "Safe," she repeated. "Yes," I said firmly. "I won't let anyone hurt you again. Not the village. Not the wolves. Not the cold. Not anyone." She let out a shaky laugh. You talk like a hero, she said. I am no hero, I said. I am just tired of seeing people suffer. Tired of seeing loneliness take them. I won't watch it happen to you. She leaned closer. I could see the frost on her eyelashes. I don't know how to thank you, she said softly. You don't need to, I said. Just stay alive. That is enough. The wind blew. Snow danced in the trees. I looked around, feeling small. The forest seemed endless. The cold seeped into my bones. But I did not care about myself. I only cared about her. Do you hate them? She asked. Yes, I said honestly. I hate what they did. But I don't hate you. You survived. That is what matters. She nodded. I thought I was alone, she said. Her voice cracked. I thought no one would come for me. I am here, I said, pulling her closer. I came. I will stay. You won't be alone again. She buried her face in my coat. I could feel her shivering. I wrapped my arms around her. The snow burned our hands, but we stayed. We needed each other that night, more than we knew. I was scared, she said. I thought I would die out here. You almost did, I said. But not now. Not with me. She looked up. You really won't leave me? Never, I said. I swore it. I won't let anyone hurt you again. The creek gurgled under the ice. The trees moaned in the wind. I held her tight and listened to the world. It was cruel. The village had betrayed her. The winter could have killed her. But I was here. I would not let it happen again. I realized something then. Every day I spent with her made me feel alive. Her fear, her trust, her small smiles, they reached something inside me I had forgotten. I had lived alone, guarding my heart. Now I felt it stir, and I could not stop it. I let the silence stretch. She fell asleep against me, trusting me completely. I watched the snow fall and the creek freeze further. I knew the village would not change, but I could. I would protect her. I would keep her alive. And somehow, in the middle of winter and betrayal, I felt something like hope. Snow fell thickly. Trees loomed on every side. The path disappeared under white. I tightened my grip on the sled. She shivered beside me. I am cold, she whispered. I know, I said. Hold my arm. Keep close. Her small hand gripped my sleeve. Will we get lost? We have to stay calm, I said. We cannot panic. A branch snapped nearby. She jumped. What was that? Probably a deer, I said, trying to sound sure. But stay close. Do not wander. We moved slowly. Every step was hard. Snow covered the ground in thick layers. I could barely see the trail. I cursed under my breath. This forest is worse than I thought. She looked up at me with wide eyes. Are we going to be okay? I took a deep breath. Yes, I will get us through this. Trust me. She nodded but clutched my arm tighter. The cold air bit at her cheeks. I wrapped my coat around her shoulders. Better? I asked. A little, she said. Her teeth chattered. I sighed. We need fire soon. We cannot stay in this cold. Branches scraped my face. I ducked. Snow fell from the trees. It was heavy and wet. Careful, I yelled. Watch your head. She stumbled over a root. Ah, she cried. I caught her quickly. Easy, I said. One step at a time. Do not rush. I am sorry, she said, looking scared. No, I said firmly. Do not apologize. I am responsible. You are my charge now. Her eyes softened. I am lucky to have you. You are lucky to be alive, I said. I swallowed hard. That is what matters. The wind picked up. Snow whipped across our faces. I held my coat tighter around us. Keep moving. We must reach the clearing before dark. She nodded silently. Her lips were blue. I cannot walk much longer, she said softly. I knelt and lifted her onto my back. Hold on tight, I said. We moved together. She wrapped her arms around my neck. Thank you, she whispered. Do not thank me yet, I said. We still have a long way. We trudged through the thick snow. I broke branches to mark our path. Wolves howled in the distance. I froze. Hear that? I asked. Yes, she whispered. They are close. They are far, I said. But we must be careful. Keep quiet. I held my hand over her mouth. She nodded, understanding. I crept forward slowly. Every sound seemed louder in the silent forest. My heart pounded. A shadow moved behind the trees. I froze again. Stay still, I whispered. She leaned closer. Are they coming? Not yet. But we need to move faster, I said. My muscles ached. Every step was a battle. My boots sank deep into the snow. I gritted my teeth. We will not die here. Not today. Hours passed slowly. My back hurt from carrying her. Her small hands were cold against mine. I whispered words of encouragement. Almost there. Keep going. You are strong. I am tired, she said. I cannot. Yes, you can, I said firmly. I am with you. We survived together. The trees began to thin. A small clearing appeared. I dropped to my knees, exhausted. We made it, I said. She smiled weakly. You saved me. I saved both of us, I said. You trust me now. Yes, she said quietly. I trust you. I felt a rush of relief. This was more than survival. This was about trust. About keeping someone alive who depended on me completely. I realized then that the wilderness was not only danger and snow. It was about courage, patience, and responsibility. We set up a small fire with dry wood I had carried. Flames flickered against the cold night. I fed her a small piece of bread. She ate slowly, shivering but alive. Thank you, she said again. Do not thank me yet, I said with a small smile. We still have more journey ahead. She laughed softly. It sounded fragile but real. I smiled back. For the first time in hours, I felt hope. We survived the woods together, and we would face what came next. The snow fell harder as we climbed the hill. I could barely see the path. Her small hand gripped mine tightly. I whispered, "Keep close. Don't let go." She nodded, shivering. "I am scared," she said. "I know," I said. "But we are together. That is what matters." We rounded a bend and saw a man standing near a fallen tree. He wore a dark coat, and his eyes scanned the forest. "Hello there," he called. "Are you lost?" I tightened my grip on the axe, strapped to my back. "Who are you?" I asked. "I am a traveler," he said. "I can help you. The road ahead is dangerous. You need guidance." I looked at him closely. There was something wrong. His eyes were too sharp, his smile too wide. "Why should I trust you?" I asked. He shrugged. "You don't have to, but I can offer food and shelter. I know the woods well." She stepped closer to me, trembling. "Should we go with him?" she asked softly. I shook my head. "No, we stay on our path. We do not follow strangers." The man's smile faded. "I only wish to help," he said. "You will regret this choice. Snow is cruel. I take my chances," I said. "Leave us alone." He laughed. "You think you can survive alone? You have a child with you. You will fail." I felt my blood boil. I stepped forward, fists tight. "Back away," I said. "I will not let you harm her." He raised his hands, mock surrender. "I mean no harm," he said. "But you will need me. Everyone does. Even you." "I do not need you," I said, stepping closer. "You want to hurt her. I will stop you." He tilted his head. "You are brave. Foolish, but brave. Very well. We shall see." She hid behind me, holding my arm. "I am scared," she whispered. "Please, don't let him hurt us." I knelt, putting my face close to hers. "I will not let him," I said. "I promise. You trust me." She nodded, tears forming in her eyes. I pulled her close. Her warmth calmed me, even as my fists clenched in rage. Protecting her was no longer a duty. It was personal. The man stepped closer. I swung my axe, not to strike, but to warn. "Stay back," I said. He laughed again. "Do you think you can fight me? Alone in this snow? You are weak." "I am not weak," I said. "And you will not take her. Understand?" He froze for a moment, then smiled cruelly. "Very well. You win for now. But the woods are full of danger. Not all come with kindness. I kept my axe ready until he disappeared into the trees. Only then did I relax slightly. I turned to her. "It is gone," I said. "He won't bother us now." She hugged me tightly. "Thank you," she whispered. I was so afraid. I held her close. "I know. I am sorry you had to be afraid. But you are safe now." We moved forward together. The wind blew stronger. Snow stuck to our clothes, our hair. I felt the cold, but my chest was warm from anger, relief, and something else I could not name. Her safety mattered more than food, warmth, or rest. We walked on. Every step was careful. I scanned the trees constantly. Wolves, ice, and strangers could all be threats. But now I understood something. Survival was not only against nature. It was also against human cruelty. People could be as dangerous as storms or wild animals. She looked up at me. "Do you think he will come back?" "I do not know," I said. "But we are ready. And if he does, we will face him. Together." Her small hand held mine tighter. I looked at her and saw trust. I felt my heart tighten. It was more than responsibility now. I would fight, bleed, and endure for her. She was my world. The forest grew darker as we descended the hill. The snow softened under our boots. My legs ached, my back was stiff, but I did not care. My eyes never left her. My ears caught every snap of a branch, every gust of wind. Danger could be near at any time. But we were not alone. I thought about the stranger. Greedy, cruel, manipulative. He wanted to take her for his own gain. I felt my fists clench again. If he returned, I would not hesitate. He would not take her. Not now. Not ever. I whispered to her, "Do not worry. I will keep you safe. Always." She nodded, shivering slightly, and pressed closer to me. Her warmth reminded me why I endured this winter, why I pushed through exhaustion, and why I had survived the wilderness. Protecting her had become my purpose. The snow fell steadily as night approached. I could see the cabin in the distance, faint light through the trees. Relief hit me, but I stayed alert. I would not let anyone harm her, not even the harsh world we lived in. I held her hand as we walked toward the light. "We're almost there," I said. "Almost safe." She smiled weakly. "Thank you," she said. "I trust you." I felt a strange warmth inside. Trust was powerful. It made me stronger than any storm, any wolf, or any stranger. I had learned that protecting someone could change a man, and I would not fail her. Not now. Not ever. The snow fell harder than ever. I looked at our small shelter and shook my head. "We will survive," I said, mostly to myself. She sat by the fire, trying to warm her hands. "I'm cold," she whispered. "I know," I said. "But we have fire. We will be okay." Her eyes searched mine. "Will we?" "Yes," I said. I wanted to promise more, but I did not know. The snow was thick. The wind howled outside. Every night. It felt like it could break the walls. I added more wood to the fire. Sparks flew, and I watched them dance. "Stay close to the fire," I said. "You can't get too far from it." She nodded. "I don't want to go outside. Not today." "Good," I said. "We don't need to. Just stay warm. Eat some soup." I handed her a bowl. She sipped quietly. I watched her, thinking of the village that had abandoned her. How could people leave someone like her? My hands ached from chopping wood. My back ached from stacking logs. Every muscle was tired, but I could not show weakness. She depended on me. "Do you ever get tired of the cold?" she asked. I shrugged. "I get tired of hunger more." She looked down at her empty hands. "I am hungry." I felt a pinch in my chest. "I will make more soup," I said. I stirred the pot slowly. "It will help. Just a little." We ate in silence for a while. The wind rattled the walls. I could hear the snow hitting the roof. Every noise made me tense. Wolves could come tonight. Or worse. I clenched my jaw and stared at her face. She trusted me completely. I could not fail her. "I wish I had someone to help me before," she said quietly. "People fail," I said. "Some people are selfish. You know that now. But we survive anyway." She shivered and pulled her blanket tighter. I moved closer, and put my arm around her. She leaned against me. I felt warmth, but my heart was heavy. I thought about my own loneliness. How long had I lived alone in these woods? Too long. I like having you here, she said. I like having you here too, I said. My voice was low. I wondered if she meant more than words. Maybe she did. I did not know. My focus was survival first. Caring second. Loving maybe later. The fire crackled. I stared into the flames and thought about the future. If the snow stopped, we could travel. We could find food. We could live. But the snow would not stop soon. Winter was harsh, and it tested everything. Will it always be this cold? She asked. Winter is cold. Always, I said. But we will find warmth, fire and shelter, and we will get food. I promise. She smiled faintly. I trust you. I felt a weight in my chest. That trust made me stronger and weaker at once. Stronger, because I had a purpose. Weaker, because if I failed her, it would be my fault. I will not let you starve, I said. I will not let the snow win. Her eyes glistened. Thank you, she said. You don't have to thank me, I said. Just survive. That is enough. I spent hours by the fire, checking our small stock of food. Each piece of meat, each root, each bit of dried bread mattered. I rationed carefully, planning the next day. I told her stories quietly, about home, about fire, about safety. My voice was soft, but my mind was sharp. Every word was a lesson and a comfort. She fell asleep in my lap. I watched her chest rise and fall. I thought about how cruel the world could be, how people could abandon the innocent, how easy it was to survive or die depending on who you met. And I realized I loved her. Not like romance, perhaps, but deeply. She had become part of me. My life, my responsibility, my hope. I whispered, "You will survive. I promise you." Outside, the wind moaned. Snow piled higher. My hands shook from cold and exhaustion. But my resolve was harder than the ice around our cabin. We would survive. Together. I stared at the fire until my eyes grew heavy. I would never abandon her. Not like the world did. Not ever. The morning was quiet, but I felt it wrong. My heart beat faster than usual. Snow crunched under my boots as I walked to the edge of the clearing. I saw them, her family. They were coming through the trees. Their faces looked concerned, but I knew better. I could see lies in their eyes. I called out, "What are you doing here?" Her mother stepped forward. "We came to get her," she said softly. "She needs to come home." I laughed bitterly. Home. Is that what you call leaving her to starve in the snow? Her father frowned. It was for her own good. We had no choice. No choice, I shouted, feeling my hands tremble. You left her to die. You call that choice? She hid behind me. Her small hand gripped my coat. I could feel her fear. I did not want her hurt again. I will not let you take her, I said. Not now. Not ever. Her brother stepped forward. You don't understand. She is ours. You can't just keep her. I understand perfectly, I said. You lost that right the day you abandoned her. She is alive because I found her. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. We were afraid of losing everything. You already lost her, I said, my voice low and cold. Do you want her back? You should have thought about her life first. She peeked from behind me, eyes wide. I put my hand on her shoulder. It's okay. I've got you, I whispered. She relaxed a little. Her father stepped closer. We can provide food, shelter. You don't need to stay alone. I don't need your mercy, I said. I need her safe. That is all that matters. The wind blew hard. Snow swirled around us, and I could feel the tension like ice on my skin. They wanted her back, but I would not let them take her. I had seen their betrayal before. I would not see it again. You think you can protect her? Her brother asked. She belongs with us, not some stranger in the woods. I belong with her now, I said. She trusts me. I will fight for her. Her mother shook her head. We only wanted her safe. You could have kept her safe. You could have fed her, clothed her, kept her warm. I shouted, voice echoing in the trees. Instead, you left her to die. The girl stepped from behind me. She looked at them with eyes full of fire. I am not going back, she said. I choose him, not you. I felt my chest swell with pride and relief. She had courage. She had survived their cruelty. And she chose life, chose me. Her father looked at me, then down at his hands. I could see regret in his eyes, but it was too late. Words could not undo what they had done. I turned to her. Do you want to stay here? I asked. She nodded. I do. I trust you. I held her close. Snow brushed our coats, but I did not care. I felt her heartbeat against mine. It was steady, alive. Safe. Her mother stepped back, tears running down her cheeks. Take care of her, she said quietly. She deserves happiness. I will, I said, voice firm. She will never go hungry again. She will never be abandoned again. The wind calmed a little. Snow fell softly now. I felt the world around me, cold and harsh, but no longer threatening. I had made my choice. I had fought for her. She whispered, "Thank you." "You don't need to thank me," I said. "You only need to stay alive. That is enough." I looked at the clearing. They left slowly, heads bowed. I did not feel pity or hatred. I only felt relief. They had tried to take her, but I had won. I had chosen her safety over everything else. That night, I lit the fire and held her close. She rested her head against my chest. I felt her warmth, and for the first time in years, I did not feel alone. The world could be cruel, but together we could survive anything. I whispered stories of the woods, of fire and snow, of survival and courage. She listened quietly, eyes closed. I knew that this bond, this trust, was stronger than fear, stronger than betrayal. The night passed slowly. Outside, snow fell quietly. I realized something important. Some battles were not fought with swords or guns. Some battles were fought with heart, with courage, and with choice. I had fought mine, and I had won. She stirred slightly and murmured, "I am glad you stayed." I kissed her forehead gently. "I will always stay," I said. "No one will ever hurt you again." And for the first time, I believed it. The betrayal was behind us. The woods, the snow, the harsh world. It could not touch us anymore. The cabin was small but safe. I opened the door and let her inside first. She hesitated. "Is it warm?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "I keep it ready. Fire is strong." She stepped in slowly, shivering. I took her coat and hung it on a hook. "Sit by the fire," I said. "I will check the wood." She nodded. Her eyes were wide. The snow outside pressed against the windows, cold and white. I could hear the wind screaming in the trees. I stacked logs in the fireplace. Sparks flew as I struck the match. Flames grew quickly, warming the room. She smiled faintly. "It smells good," she said. I grunted. "It smells like life. Warmth is life." She sat on the bench, hugging her knees. "I thought I would never see warmth again," she said. "You will," I said. "I will not let anything happen to you." Her gaze met mine. I saw fear and trust in the same glance. It hit me. She needed me, but I needed her too. I had not realized how lonely I had been until now. "I am cold," she whispered. I took off my coat and draped it around her shoulders. "Better?" I asked. "Yes," she said softly. "Better." I sat beside her, letting the fire crackle. Silence filled the cabin. I watched her fingers move over the blanket. I wanted to speak, but words felt heavy. "I am scared," she said after a while. "The woods are dangerous. People are dangerous too." "I know," I said, "but here you are safe." "I am here." Her eyes teared. "You saved me," she said. "I did," I admitted. "But you also saved me from my own loneliness. I never thought I would care like this." She smiled, faint but real. "We saved each other then," she said. I nodded. "Yes, together." She leaned back and yawned. "I think I can sleep now," she said. I helped her lie down on the blanket I had spread on the floor. "Sleep well," I said. "The fire will keep you warm." She closed her eyes. I watched her breathe. I noticed the small scars on her hands, the dirt in her hair, the pale skin from hunger and cold. I wanted to wash it all away. "Do you ever think about going back?" I asked quietly. "No," she said. I am not going back. Not to them. Not to that life. Good, I said. You do not belong there. You belong here. With me. Her breathing slowed. I sat in the corner, warming my hands over the fire. The snowstorm continued outside, but I did not care. The cabin was safe, and for the first time, I felt calm. I thought about the journey that brought us here. The forests, the cold, the hunger, the fear, the trust. It had shaped us both. Every trial had made us stronger. Every scar reminded me of survival. I looked at her sleeping peacefully. I whispered, "You are safe. You are mine to protect. Always." She moved slightly, murmuring something I could not hear. I smiled. I felt my heart lighten. The world outside could wait. Here, now, we had warmth, shelter, and trust. I brought more wood to the fire. Flames licked the ceiling, shadows dancing on the walls. I could feel hope filling the room. We could rebuild. We could heal. Together. I told her stories, quietly, as she slept. Tales of the forest, of animals, of times when I had been alone. I imagined her dreams. Maybe she dreamed of freedom, of safety, of laughter. Hours passed. The storm weakened. Snowflakes still fell, but they were smaller, lighter. I felt a quiet satisfaction. We survived. We survived the woods, the cold, and betrayal. We survived the winter. I sat by the fire, my back against the wall, and let myself breathe. I realized something important. Life could be fragile, but it could also be gentle. Warmth was more than fire. It was trust. It was companionship. It was hope. I looked at her again. Every scar she carried, every tear she had shed, had brought her here. And here she was safe. And I was no longer lonely. The cabin smelled of smoke and wood. The snow fell quietly outside. And inside, I finally felt at home. Spring came slowly. The snow melted, leaving the ground soft and wet. I walked with her through the melting forest. Birds sang in the trees. The sun felt warm on my face. I had not felt warmth like this in a long time. "Look," she said, pointing at a small stream. "The ice is gone." I smiled. "It is." I knelt to touch the water. Cold, but not freezing. Life was returning to the land. Life felt real again. She laughed quietly. "I never thought I would see this again." "You survived," I said. "That is why you are here." She looked at me. Her eyes were strong now, not frightened. "You saved me," she said. I shook my head. "No, we saved each other. I would have stayed alone otherwise." She stepped closer. I was afraid. Afraid of everything. "I know," I said. "I was too. Afraid of losing you. Afraid of failing." We walked along the stream, holding hands. The mud was soft under our boots. I could feel her warmth. It was more than my fire ever gave. "Do you think the village will come for me?" she asked. I looked at her. "Let them come. You do not belong there anymore. Not after what they did." Her face tightened. "I thought they loved me." "They abandoned you," I said. "Love is not always safe. Survival comes first." She nodded. "Then I am glad I found you." "And I am glad I found you," I said. My voice shook slightly. I did not know if it was from cold, from emotion, or both. Probably both. The woods opened to the old cabin. Smoke rose from the chimney. I had kept it ready for this moment. Safe. Warm. Ours. "Home," she whispered. I opened the door. Firelight reflected on her face. She smiled. I felt my chest tighten. "Home," I repeated. We set her belongings by the bed. She unpacked slowly, careful with every piece. I watched her and realized she had grown stronger. Stronger than the winter, stronger than fear. "Do you think we can live here?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "We can live. We can survive together." She looked at me. "I am not afraid anymore." "You should not be," I said. "We are together now. The woods cannot harm us." We sat by the fire. I chopped some wood for the stove, while she cleaned up. The room smelled of pine and warmth. I could see her smile and knew it would last. "I never thought anyone would help me," she said quietly. "I am glad I did," I said. "You deserve life. You deserve safety." She leaned back. "And I never thought I would feel happy again." You can, I said. We will make it happen. Night came. The fire crackled, shadows dancing on the walls. I sat beside her and watched her sleep. I thought about the winter storms, the hunger, the danger. Everything we survived brought us here. Every step was worth it. In the morning, the sun shone on the wet trees. Birds chirped loudly. I watched her wake, stretching her arms. She looked at me and smiled. Morning, she said. Morning, I replied. I felt hope fill me. I felt life fill me. I realized that this was more than survival. This was new life. This was freedom. The past, the betrayal, the loneliness, they belonged behind us. She stepped outside. I followed, letting her lead. The snow was gone, the forest alive. Life waited for us. We were free, alive, together. I reached for her hand. She took it. Our fingers intertwined. I knew that we could face anything. Winter had tested us. Hunger had tested us. Fear had tested us. And we had passed. Together, she whispered. Always, I said. The cabin, the forest, the open plains, they were ours now. The cold and hunger could not reach us anymore. The future was ours to choose. Some beginnings come after the harshest winters. I understood that now. The past had shaped us. The struggle had made us stronger. And love, unexpected, quiet, and brave, had saved us both. I breathed deeply. The world was alive again. And so were we. We walked forward, hands clasped, hearts full. I was no longer lonely. She was no longer afraid. Life, finally, had begun.